What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video where today we're going to be talking about a few things. One is a rumour that David Tennant could well be back for the Series 14 finale, and another is that the Fortnite collaboration has been seemingly deconfirmed by Russell T Davies himself. So we're going to be getting into all that news, plus my thoughts on all of it, and more. So subscribe if you're new, that would be greatly appreciated. I know I keep saying I want to be more consistent, but quite honestly, there's just not been a lot of Doctor Who stuff going on. We're in kind of that dry spell between series. I promise you, things will probably pick up. I've got a couple of videos in the pipeline, so stay tuned, I've got stuff coming out. I'm just sort of waiting for Doctor Who to sort of have a little bit of a spike, so I could really capitalise on that. But let's just get right into it. So, first things first, Russell T Davies saying on Instagram about the Fortnite collaboration. So I'm getting this from a madman not a box on Twitter. Russell has spoken on the Doctor Who Fortnite collaboration, and not in the way you'd perhaps expect. And then so someone basically asked directly, what information could you share about the Doctor Who and Fortnite collaboration? Russell T Davies said, there isn't one. It's a complete myth, I'm afraid. Now, I've already seen people kind of see this and go, well, myths are a thing in the new Russell T Davies era that become real, and whilst that would be a fun sort of distraction, I have a feeling he's being completely genuine here when I say, I don't think it's happening. I heard from someone a little while back that it wasn't a thing, or that they weren't aware that it was a thing, who was close to production, but I guess I just kind of assumed that, oh, you know, maybe it's because it's a different department, it's more to do with, you know, multimedia stuff, maybe the message hadn't gone through, but according to Russell now, it's not real, which is very unfortunate. I was looking forward to a full-on Fortnite collaboration. In case you haven't seen, they recently just announced like a massive Disney Fortnite crossover thing with, I think, did Disney buy a majority stake in Fortnite or Epic Games? One of the two. So there's going to be a lot more Disney stuff in Fortnite, and I thought, well, if Disney have Doctor Who internationally, that'd be a great way to push it. But right now, it seems like the Doctor Who Fortnite collaboration has been, I guess, rebuked, which is a shame. I was kind of looking forward to that. I thought it would be fun, and I'm not a massive Fortnite guy, but you best believe if they were doing Fortnite skins and like an event, I would totally get on for that. Would have made for some great live streams, but he's hoping it's not off the table in the future. But I don't think he's being like, ooh, it's a myth, so maybe it'll happen. I just don't think it's happening. And if you're wondering what happened to those source files, I saw from a Fortnite account that apparently those files were not from the inside of the game, so therefore, you know, they weren't necessarily accurate, which I guess makes sense. Unfortunate, but I don't think it's happening at this stage. I don't think he'd be so direct about it if it was. So interestingly, Anita Dobson had an interview on an ITV show called Love Your Weekend, apparently around January the 7th, and Anita Dobson said that she has filmed some scenes with David Tennant. And then Doctor Who Production News says, well, we know there'll be scenes with unit headquarters, Mel and Rose will be back, but is there evidence that 14 will be back? While Bonnie and Ncuti distracted fans posing for photos, Tennant was snuck into the Millennium Center episode 8 finale. My BF was a unit soldier, extra on the shoot. Take what you will or not. Either way, broadcast in July will prove whether true or not. So yeah, someone's basically claiming that this is happening, but let's just watch the clip, because I'm not personally convinced.
I was never into Doctor Who, really. I mean, even from William Hartnell years, and that was the first Doctor Who, that was when I was growing up. But it has an enormous following, and when a doctor changes, it's you know, it's even more important than a change of prime minister, isn't it? Really? And you've got David Tennant coming back to do it.
Yeah, everybody's in it. Everybody's in it. I think there's a picture.
So that was just the clip there, and to be honest, it sounds to me like she just sort of misheard the question and, you know, assumed he was referring to the 60th. I'm not 100% that this is confirmation that she's like going to be with David Tennant in the future. Obviously, for those of you who aren't aware, Anita Dobson is the actress who's playing Mrs. Flood in Ncuti Gatwa's era. Personally, I don't know whether I hold much stock in this. It feels like a very kind of flippant answer, not the sort of thing where she's sort of deliberately said it. And I mean, David Tennant being back could very easily just be Alan Titchmarsh referring to the 60th, which was fairly recent. So I'm not sure how much I buy this. If there is something to it though, as that person on Twitter has said, and again, I've got no idea whether it does because I don't know the person, but if there is some legitimacy to it, I can't rather mixed feelings on the idea of it. On the one hand, I really like 14 as an incarnation, and I'd like to see more of him, and I think I want to see more of that dynamic. I think it's quite interesting having, an Earthbound Doctor exist. On the other hand, I kind of feel that 15 should have his full series to himself. He was already introduced in 14 Swan Song. I feel like 15's first series should be a Ncuti Gatwa only affair. I think if you have Tennant showing up in his first finale, it could kind of make him feel like the junior Doctor, in a sense. And I don't think you want that. I think you want Ncuti Gatwa as the prominent main Doctor. And I mean, even if he cameos, it'll come across as a little bit weird, like, why are you not helping out in the rest of this? Now, obviously, we have seen in the trailers Rose Noble is in one of the episodes with UNIT, so I guess it would make some sense, alongside we know Mel's back as well. So, given that they are part of the 14th Doctor's new family, I guess it would kind of track. I just don't know how I feel about it, and I think the evidence at the minute is very, very tenuous. Russell did say, I believe it was on the Giggle commentary, that, David's mentioned, once in the new era, and that doesn't scream to me like Tennant himself would be back. Again, I could be wrong on this, and I love 14 as an incarnation. He feels like the refined version of 10, and I'd like to see more of him. I just don't know whether this is the right time or place to do that. I wouldn't be opposed to, him showing up in a spin-off a couple of years down the line, or something like that, or if they do another anniversary story, say for I don't know, New Who's anniversary. I guess they wouldn't now because New Who's rebooted. I don't know, the whole thing's a bit of a mess. But I wouldn't be opposed to Tennant coming back. I just don't know whether Ncuti's finale is the right place for that. But it's all speculation at the moment. We've only got this to go on. I think it would just entirely depend on execution for me. I think maybe you could justify it as if time is going wrong and that's what causes 14 to be brought back into the fold. Although I guess you wouldn't need that if he was on Earth in present day. I think the circumstances would have to be just right. And if it's just David, that would bring the question of where's Donna? Where's Donna Noble? If Rose is there and the Doctor's there and Mel is there, then at that point Donna would look strange by omission. So I think if you do it, it would have to be done in a very specific way for it to work and for Ncuti to still feel like the main Doctor. Not saying it couldn't be done, I just don't know whether it's the right approach to do it this soon. Maybe in say for example, Ncuti's third or fourth series, where he's ending off and he gets his own Still on Earth Journey's End equivalent story where all these sort of relevant characters from his era come back in one final battle. I could see 14 fitting into that scenario perfectly well. And I mean, maybe that's what they're going for here. I guess it just feels a little bit premature to do this already. We've only just really had them coming together. And I am of the opinion that the more you do multi-Doctor stuff, the more it kind of cheapens and diminishes each time you do it. It's why for me now, whenever Big Finish does a multi-Doctor event, it doesn't really do much for me because I'm so used to seeing these Doctors together, if that makes sense. It's the definition of too much of a good thing. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings. It would depend on execution, and that's even if it happens. But I don't know. I wanted to discuss this because I think it's an interesting topic. But let me know what you guys think about this. What are your thoughts on Fortnite stuff apparently not happening, as well as Tennant possibly being in Series 14, Episode 8, the finale? What are your thoughts on all this? Drop it down in the comments below. I'm hoping to be a bit more regular again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.